out in the mornings. It's usually like half an hour to 45 minutes to an hour. It just depends on the day of the week. You run a couple days a week. You do like pull-ups, which you don't actually, as a female or even as a male, you never have to do them completely yourself. You can have someone assist you, but you try to work up to being able to do them yourself. There's days when you do push-ups and sit-ups. There's just tons of different days where you do different types of exercises, and they're awesome. Don't try and like skip out of them or pretend like you're hurt, because it's going to make your experience worse. You have to pass a PT test in order to graduate, which at this current time, but they're changing the standards, you have to run 2 miles, and you have to do as many push-ups as you can in 1 or 2 minutes, and as many sit-ups as you can do in 2 minutes. But you have to pass it in order to graduate. Their standards based on your age and your gender as well. So other things about basic training, I'm trying to just talk about them as quick as possible. There's 3 phases. The first phase is red phase. It's your toughest mentally. It's where you're breaking down, and then they start to build you back up in the white and the blue phase. The white phase is the toughest, in my opinion, physically. You also do a lot of shooting with your weapon. You carry around an M16 rifle, and my hands are flying around as I pretend to hold my rifle. But you carry around an M16 rifle with you at all times. It's your baby. It sleeps with you at night. You carry it around wherever you go. You have it with you, even at PT in the morning. So you learn to shoot, which is so much fun. Just think of it this way. People pay to go to the range. People pay to go to a gym, and you're getting paid by the Army to do these things. If you think about it that way, if you think about it like a social event, and it's summer camp kind of, it's a lot easier. Obviously, it's not summer camp, and you're wearing an Army uniform, and they're mean to you, but if you just try to use that mentality, it's easier to get through. Other things, and I wrote stuff down, so I might be looking over there, but phone calls. People always ask me, well, how often do you get to talk to home? I got 3 phone calls in basic training, and they were all like a total of maybe 10 minutes long, which is really good. You learn to love and to live off of letters from home. There is nothing that meant more to me in basic training than receiving a package from home with Kleenex, chapstick, some cough drops, maybe a couple pictures from home. You just learn to love those things, and it's nice to appreciate the simple pleasures. You don't have to worry about the drama of who's hooking up with who on Facebook and what celebrity is tweeting about this. You just don't care about the real world. It's like this fake little isolated world, and I loved it. I would go back to basic training tomorrow if you could send me, but you can't. Other things, eating. Your eating habits change. You learn to shovel your food in really fast. I used to get made fun of by the drill sergeants because I eat really slow. So they used to say, "What are you doing, Private? We're not at the old country buffet." It was so funny. I'd cross my legs, which you're not allowed to do. I'd cross my legs, and I would eat. I would eat my food just like kind of normal, and I would always strategically sit at certain tables that I knew most of the people like just sat down to eat at, because I felt like I got more time, because usually if the people around you are starting to stand up that they're done, that means that you have to be done too. So I used to eat so slow, I'd get yelled at all the time. I also got in trouble almost every single day for smiling too much, which if you can tell by any of my videos, I smile way too much. So that's one thing. You have to be very serious at basic training. There's times to joke around, but there's times that you have to be super serious. And that was hard for me because I have a generally positive mentality, and it's hard to frown. It's my face. I can't frown, but whatever. I made it through. I graduated. Let's see, the ratio for my basic training, I want to say it was like 5 males to every 1 female. And yes, there's a lot of like chit chat between the girls and the guys. You can't pass notes. You're not there to date anybody. I made the mistake of kind of having a crush on a guy, which I'm not even going to talk about. But don't do it. It's a bad idea. They really do frown upon any sort of male-females fraternizing, it's what they call it. So you really are kind of separated from the males, but you're right next to them. You do everything. You go through the obstacle courses, you shoot with them. You're next to them at all times. It's not like females and males are separated into 2 different areas. It's all combined. Let's see what else. You get a lot of sleep. I got a ton of sleep. You get almost 8 hours of sleep every day if you're good. If your platoon misbehaves, you may have to be woken up in the middle of the night to do push-ups or whatever. I just behave and don't do anything stupid. That's the basic thing. If you get sick, you get taken care of. If something happens at home, your family can always call the Red Cross number and they can get a hold of you at basic training. But the biggest thing is you're doing something great for your country. I would never want to take back my experience in the military for $1 million. I absolutely am so glad I changed as a person. I became a lot more resilient and tough, and I learned to take criticism a lot better. And I learned so much about myself joining the military. It's really an eye-opening experience, and I'm the girliest girl in the world, and if I could do it, anybody can. I had my mom sneak me in one of my packages tinted moisturizer when I was at basic training and flavored chapsticks. Those were my favorite. On my last day, so your family can attend your graduation, and then there's something called Family Day, which is the day before graduation, where you can stay on base with your family. And we went to the PX, which is like, I don't know, it's like a big store, basically. It's kind of like a Kmart or something, but it's on every military base. And my parents took me to the PX, and I bought an eyelash curler, because you couldn't wear makeup even to your graduation. My parents bought me an eyelash curler, and I just felt so amazing using that one little luxury. It's cool. You appreciate the smallest things. You appreciate little luxuries like getting your phone for 2 minutes, or getting a letter in the mail that has a picture, and it's such a simple life. I thought it was awesome. Again, it's all mental. If the physical stuff, the Army is honestly not that hard. I was not in shape when I first joined, and I was whipped into shape, and now I'm slowly losing my in shape, but I'm gonna get back into it. But it's awesome. I loved it. There are tons of different places you can go to basic training. I think there's 5 locations that females can go to. Fort Jackson just happened to be the one that I got assigned to. I don't really know what the rhyme or reason is for choosing where people go to basic training. After basic training, I got shipped directly to Fort Huachuca, which is in Arizona on the Mexico border. Everybody gets split up and sent different places after that. But you usually know where you're going after basic training. You'll know before you leave, so you can tell your family, hey, after basic training, after I graduate, I'm going here. And you get a lot more freedoms after you graduate basic training, which I will talk about in an entirely different video because I'm running out of time.